One of the companies seeking to get a franchise in Santa Fe for wireless telecommunications is named Extenet Systems. They're based in Illinois. Patty Ringo is a local sales rep and has been at those contentious city council meetings where members of the public have expressed their concern about health effects and electromagnetic radiation and towers. I asked Patty Ringo about those towers.
No, there are no towers involved. We actually do work strictly in the public right-of-way. We use existing infrastructure such as telephone poles, light standards, anything that's existing already there, in order to install small equipment boxes and small antennas on them to propagate the signal. They function sort of as repeaters, I guess, is probably the best analogy I could use for the general public. And they're clearly a lot smaller than you would see, a normal tower people associate with a 65-foot or 100-foot structure, and these are clearly not that tall.
I've seen pictures of these devices, these boxes. They appear to measure maybe a foot wide by a foot tall or so.
Yeah, they're actually, some of them can be as long as a couple feet lengthwise. They usually fit within the profile of the telephone pole, so, about 10, 12 inches across. And then as far as the depth goes, they only stick out about 10 inches.
There's also been questions raised about the FCC ruling. The lawyers at City Hall believe that the FCC ruling requires them to act within 90 days on a new application. But some of the folks who are opposed to it say that's not true. The telecommunications law or rule from the FCC is for facility siting applications, not franchise applications. Is that true? And which one are you going for, siting or franchise?
There's a lot of contention about that, and I completely understand the confusion. What they're referring to is the FCC's ruling. It's dubbed the shot clock. It's kind of stolen from the sporting world, where you have a certain amount of time to shoot the ball. That's where it came from. And basically what that ruling is in regards to is when a person or a company puts an application in to have a wireless site permitted through a particular jurisdiction, that in the past what has happened is a lot of jurisdictions across the country have drugged the process out to where some of the processes are taking up to 2 years. That's a very long time for something that's relatively small. I mean, you're not building a huge structure or anything like that. You're building a relatively small structure. In order to work with all of the initiatives and allow the infrastructure to be put in place that will allow the public to get the best, most ubiquitous coverage and capacity that they need and are clearly demanding in their wireless service, the FCC is trying to help with that, along with the broadband initiatives that are being rolled out by, saying to the jurisdictions, hey, you really need to kind of look at your time frames and get things moving because you're taking really too long. So they've put in place this shot clock ruling, and basically for a new structure, it's actually 150 days. For a co-locating structure, it's 90 days from the time that you submit a complete application. Now, I understand why they would, the general public is probably in Santa Fe saying, well, it doesn't apply in the franchise world, but this is a franchise ordinance. So once that franchise ordinance is adopted, then that ruling would probably apply as well.
When you say franchise ordinance adopted, you mean some such that Santa Fe City Council is now considering?
Yes, that's what I'm referring to.
And if they don't approve a franchise ordinance, what then?
Well, that remains to be seen. They don't have a process today by which anyone can go and utilize the right-of-way easily. It's not, and you have to understand that there's more than just wireless facilities being applied for in this situation. There's also a fiber-only provider that has been working on trying to get an installation done in the public right-of-way in Santa Fe for quite some time. So this ordinance is meant to cover all of your franchises, anything wireless, anything fiber-related, anything cable related. It's meant to cover everybody. So this is kind of holding up more than just, the couple of us that are quote-unquote wireless providers.
Patty Ringo is with one of those wireless provider companies named Extenet.